So students, let us begin with our Science 2 first chapter. It is 6th chapter of your textbook, that is classification of plants. So let us begin with this particular chapter. Children, as you all know that the entire universe, the things that is present in the entire universe is broadly classified. We can say it is classified as living and non-living things. We can say it is classified as living and non-living things. Right? Now, the living things, when we are talking about, the living things is again classified as, generally we classify it as plants and animals. Plants and animals. Now, let me tell you one thing very clearly, children, that if you are going to look around, you will see that there are varieties of plants and animals. So, if I want to learn about a particular plant, it becomes very difficult as there is a lot of biodiversity. So, it is becoming very necessary that we classify the plants and animals. When I am saying classify, it means the plants and animals are divided into groups and subgroups so that we are able to learn about them in a better way. This type of classification or dividing the living organisms into groups and subgroups is known as biological classification. That is called as biological classification. So what is biological classification, children? It is nothing but it is a process of dividing the living organisms into groups and subgroups based on how you will divide them into groups and subgroups, children. That will depend upon the similarities and the differences present among them. So based on their similarities and differences, the living organisms are divided into groups and subgroups, and this is what is called as our biological classification. If you remember, children, we have studied in our 8th standard the very first chapter, that is living world and classification of microbes. If you remember, in that particular chapter we have seen there were different botanists, or we can say different biologists, who have tried to divide the living world into different way. The very first scientist, or we can say the very first biologist, Carl Linnaeus, he was the one who divided the living organisms into two categories or two kingdoms as Vegetabilia and Animalia. Then came the different biologists like Haeckel, then Chatham, Copeland, who tried to divide the living organisms into different kingdoms. But out of all, the very renowned classification was given by Robert Whittaker. It was given by Robert Whittaker in the year 1969. In the year 1969, Robert Whittaker came out with his classification, and he classified the living organisms into 5 major kingdoms. On what criteria he has classified them? If you remember, again going back to our 8th standard, Robert Whittaker classified the living organism based on first was the complexity or the cell structure. That was the first one. That was the first criteria he used. Second was the complexity of the organism. Third he used was mode of nutrition. Fourth was the lifestyle. And the last one was phylogenetic relationship. So children, this was the criteria which Robert Whittaker used to classify the living organisms into 5 major kingdoms. So when I am saying complexity or cell structure, that is which type of cells they have. If you remember again, we have studied in 7th standard the types of cells. It was prokaryotes and eukaryotes, whether the cells were prokaryotic or eukaryotic. So that was the first one. Based on that, then the complexity of organism, when I am talking about, it means whether the organism is made up of single cell or many cell. That means whether the organism is unicellular or multicellular. And when I am talking about mode of nutrition, it means whether the organism is autotrophic or they are saprophytic or they are heterotrophic. So what is their mode of nutrition? How they are going to, do they prepare their own food, or they depend on some other living organisms, or they are depend on the dead organisms. So based on that was the tried criteria he used. Then when I am talking about the lifestyle, lifestyle means, as you all know, the plants are called as producers, the animals are known as consumers, and the fungi, they are comes under decomposers. So that is comes under the lifestyle. And when I am talking about the phylogenetic relationship, it means unicellular to multicellular. That is what is the phylogenetic relationship. So this was the criteria used by the Robert Whittaker in the year 1969 to classify the living organisms into 5 kingdoms. So according to his classification, if you are going to look, children, then the living organisms was broadly classified as prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now, if I am going to ask you what are prokaryotes? Prokaryotes are those living organisms which are having prokaryotic cell. When I am talking about prokaryotic cell, children, what do you mean by prokaryotic cell? Let me explain it to you here. Prokaryotic cell are those cells whose size will be between 1 to 10 micrometer. The size of the cell will be between 1 to 10 micrometer. This particular cell will not have, they don't have membrane bound cell organelles. They don't have membrane bound cell organelles. They don't have nuclear membrane. They even don't have nuclear membrane. And prokaryotes are unicellular organisms. Prokaryotes will be unicellular. They will have only one cell. So which cell they will have? They will have prokaryotic cell. And what is the characteristics of prokaryotic cell? The size of the cell will be between 1 to 10 micrometer. This particular cell do not have membrane bound cell organelles. If you know, children, what are cell organelles? We have mitochondria, we have Golgi apparatus, we have vacuoles. These are the various cell organelles. As you all know, in the normal, that is eukaryotic cell, they will have a proper membrane around each cell organelle. But the prokaryotic cell will not have the membrane bound. And they don't have even the nuclear membrane. Whereas a eukaryotic cell will have nuclear membrane. So the organisms which are having prokaryotic cell are called as prokaryotes, and they are unicellular organisms. On the other hand, when I am talking about eukaryotes, eukaryotes are those organisms which are having eukaryotic cell, And what is the characteristics of eukaryotic cell? The cell size will be more than 10 micrometer, right? And they have membrane bound cell organelles. Third, they have nuclear membrane. They have proper nuclear membrane. So that is the difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic organism or eukaryotes can be unicellular or they can be multicellular. Okay children, this is just to remind you what are prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So Robert Whittaker, he broadly classified the living organisms as prokaryotes and eukaryotes depending upon the cell structure or the cell complexity. Then the organisms which comes under prokaryotes, they come under the kingdom called as kingdom Monera. It is called as kingdom Monera. That is what is the first kingdom. Right children? Understood? Then as I told you, the eukaryotes can be unicellular organisms or multicellular organisms. So Whittaker further classified the eukaryotes as unicellular and multicellular. Now children, again I am reminding you, prokaryotes are also unicellular. But what is the condition? They have prokaryotic cell they will have. The unicellular organism which comes under eukaryotes will have eukaryotic cell. Now I hope you know what are prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So that is the difference between this unicellular organism and the unicellular organism which comes under Monera. So according to Whittaker, the organisms which are unicellular but containing eukaryotic cell, they come under a particular kingdom called as kingdom Protista. It is called as kingdom Protista. That is the second kingdom which he has named. The first kingdom was Monera. Monera contains the organisms which are prokaryotes. That means they have prokaryotic cell. And Protista consists of unicellular organisms containing eukaryotic cell. Okay children. Now multicellular was, then he said that multicellular organisms, he further classified them as organisms with cell wall, organisms with cell wall and organisms without cell wall. Organisms with cell wall and organisms without cell wall. Again going back to our 7th and 8th standard children. When you were studying about the plant cell and the animal cell, in that you have studied that plants contains cell wall, animal cell do not have cell wall, if you remember. So the organisms without cell wall comes under a particular kingdom called as Animalia. They comes under a kingdom called as Animalia. That means the entire animals will come under the kingdom called as Animalia. So with the cell wall, when we are saying, now with the cell wall, again he has classified them as autotrophic and heterotrophic. Again he has classified it as autotrophic and heterotrophic. Now children, let me tell you one thing. One minute. Autotrophs. So the organism, autotrophs means the one who can prepare their own food. So the kingdom or the organisms which comes under autotrophs, they come under a kingdom called as kingdom Plantae. Plantae kingdom. Plantae kingdom. And the animals which comes under, which cannot prepare their own food, or non-green plants, we can say, that is fungi, they comes under heterotrophs. So that is the 5th kingdom. So according to Whittaker has broadly classified the living organisms into 5 different kingdoms. Again I am repeating. First he divided the living organisms as prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes are those living organisms containing prokaryotic cell. Children, I explained you what are prokaryotic cell and what are eukaryotic cell. So now you should know it. So prokaryotes are unicellular organisms and they come under a kingdom called as kingdom Monera. Again, he classifies eukaryotes as unicellular and multicellular. In this particular unicellular organisms, they contain eukaryotic cell, and the organism which come under this particular category, they are placed in a kingdom called as kingdom Protista. Then again he classified multicellular as the organisms with cell wall and organisms without cell wall. Without cell wall are nothing but animals, so he has put them in a kingdom called as kingdom Animalia. And the with cell wall, he has again classified them as autotrophs and heterotrophs, that is the green plants and the non-green plants. The one which comes under autotrophs they fall under a kingdom called as kingdom Plantae, and heterotrophs are the one that is kingdom Fungi. They have placed under a kingdom called as kingdom Fungi. So these are the 5 major kingdoms of Robert Whittaker. Now children, in this case, Monera, Protista and fungi we have already studied in 8th standard. The characteristics of them we have already studied in 8th standard. Now in 9th we are going to learn about the kingdom Plantae and its classification, further classification. In 10th standard you will be studying about kingdom Animalia in detail. So in the next video we are going to learn how the plants are classified and what are the bases on which the plants are classified. This was the general introduction of the classification of living organisms. So let us move on to our next video to learn about the classification of plants. Thank you children.